Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
I named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves to wear a lion pelt on his head. Frank, how are you today?
I'm sensitive about my baldness, okay? I need to cover it with something, and lion pelt was the best thing I had.
Clearly, yes. I mean, you're rocking it.
It's stylish, it's I'm just following Kristen Wiig's lead.
Yeah. She was a cheetah, Frank.
Cat prints are in.
They are. I'm actually really concerned that the teeth are going to poke you in the eye if you move too much. But it's all good. It's weird that you named it Mufasa. I think that was that was a little rude.
That might have been racist.
It's a little much, Frank.
I don't know.
Truthfully,
Not your best choice.
No. Oh gosh, Frank, how are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm drinking a new beer for me, not a new company, but a new beer.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. But tell me about what you're drinking first.
But you have the opening there. Go for it.
I always ask you and you tell me. Fine, we'll change. I am drinking something from Von Trapp Brewing.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah, I love the Von Trapps. And this is a Berliner Weisse style ale. So it's one of their kind of the classic ones, but I didn't know they sold it around here, so when I saw it in the store I was like, need to buy all of the Von Trapps. Thank you very much, because they make a good beer. The Berliner Weiss is okay. I will say it's not the best. It's good. It's very good. It's definitely more of a summer beer, and it being the middle of winter, it is refreshing though. Gosh, a little bit of Austria, a lot of Vermont.
Nice. Nice. I do enjoy a lighter beer in the winter sometimes. It's still I know people drink stouts and porters and stuff in the winter, but I still I had a Hefeweizen the other day. I don't know. I enjoy that stuff.
I prefer lighter beers almost on principle, especially when we're recording, because I usually have dinner after we record. And so if we stick to our normal schedule, so if I have a giant stout, I'm not really hungry for dinner, and that doesn't go over super well. So I like the lighter beers. I like the Von Trapps. When I brought it up I bought a bunch of beer because I don't want to go to the store so much in a pandemic. So I bought a bunch. I had these big boxes, and I had the Von Trapps on top, stacked on top, and I couldn't get it up on the counter, and so I said, would you mind grabbing the Von Trapps? They've had a hard life already, and I don't want them to fall. And the guy at the register just thought that was the best thing. He gave me two glasses.
That's amazing.
It was so great. He's like, do you want glasses? I'm like, yes,
sure,
I do. Yeah, so I got some nice beer glasses. So it's exciting.
Not to be confused with beer goggles, which is a different thing.
Yes, that would have been hard to drive home with.
Yes.
Yes. Frank, what are you drinking?
I am drinking I'm still working through my Belgians that I got for Christmas. I've been actually saving some of them to drink on this show so I can talk about them. And this is one of my very last ones of the Piraat Belgian Ale.
Oh yeah, Piraat.
Piraat. Every time I see it, I want to say it. Piraat. It feels like someone's shouting it at me. But yes, Piraat Belgian Ale. It is your.
This is an inside joke for us, but Piraat sounds like the sequel to Witch.
Yes, reference acknowledged. Witch. Yeah, it's very, very good. I feel like I've had it before. I think I may have had this when I was in Europe at some point, maybe when I was in Portugal. It looks familiar, and like the branding and everything looks very familiar. But it is. We were talking about going back a ways. This one goes back to 1784. I've seen older ones than that. Even you had one from like the 1300s. I guess it was Hogarden.
Hogarden was 1344 or something like that.
Yeah. I've seen some that go back to like the 1200s even.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I think they're Belgians too. I mean, it's usually Belgians or at least Trappists that tend to be the ones that go back that far. Where it's like, oh yes, these monks at this monastery have been brewing this beer for 800 years, and that's how they pay their bills.
Right. It's like that. When we went to that beer hall. And do you remember we went to that beer hall in Jersey and we had the same Mozart's favorite beer? Like, that's cool. Like, I drank the same beer that Mozart had.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Yeah. And because of the way they do these things, it probably tastes just about the same as it did for him. Like the recipe may have changed or the equipment may have changed, but the methods are pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joe and Kathy, for taking us there.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I have a fun beer story, actually, if you'll permit me.
Yes.
I found a few weeks ago on the show. I drank a throwback Mexican chocolate porter.
Yes,
that
I remember.
Very, very.
It was like
good.
a little. It had like chili pepper in it.
Yes, that's right.
Like that.
That's right. Yeah, El Chupacabra is what they call it. From Throwback Brewing in Stratham, New Hampshire. I actually went to the brewery this weekend. My wife and I took her parents out, and we went to the brewery because it's not too far from where we're staying right now. And they have these, and by the time you're hearing this, I don't know if they're still doing this, but they have been doing this really fun thing where they have these little fire pits outdoors. And you can rent one for 2 hours, private fire pits that are socially distant, spaced out from all the rest. So you get your own little fire pit. They keep bringing you wood to keep refilling it. As far as I can tell, it seems to be unlimited wood. You rent it for 2 hours. They give you we had 6 chairs. There were only 4 of us. But so you can have a small group of people. Like if you're in a pod with some people, you can go and hang out outdoors by a fire, and they'll bring you beer. They serve you food. They're right on a farm, so all the food is fresh from the farm. I had what they were calling a campfire hot dog, which was a sausage on a bun, and you can finish the sausage over the campfire. It's cooked already, and they bring it to you if you want to finish roasting it over the fire.
This whole experience sounds amazing.
It was so great, and it was like $25 to rent the space for the 4 of us for 2 hours, and then whatever we paid in food and beer. So. Really great. Like everyone is they're being very as safe as they can. You're a good 10 feet away from the nearest party. You've got your little campfire. You're outdoors. Everyone's wearing masks, and you get your campfire and some chairs in a circle around it, and a little picnic table to eat. Great. It was so much fun. Great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. We just had a blast, and it was just, I haven't gone out to eat in at least 2 or 3 months, so it was really nice to be able to do that in a safe, responsible way. So if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do, Throwback Brewing, really fun, and you can make a reservation, so you don't have to worry about will there be a line or whatever. You reserve your spot, so for sure you got a spot. So
that's great.
Fun.
I
little
love
plug.
that. Yeah, great plug. Great plug for them if you're in the area, which I even that's far from me, but I want to do that in my backyard.
It's tempting, right? Maybe we should meet up it's far for you, but I don't know.
I don't know if it's so far that I wouldn't do that, truthfully.
Right.
I could swing that.
Maybe at some point when on a warm day or whatever we can find a way to do that.
I can swing that. Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Know what I can't do, Frank,
What's
though,
that?
truthfully, is recall things with perfect memory. Or form good sentences, for that matter.
Might be difficult being an English teacher then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure is.
No, I saw an Instagram post that I shared with Tim. There is really funny idea, and it was actually it's a joke, but it's a pitch for a joke pitch for a podcast. Idea for a classics podcast: get a bunch of people together who learned Greek mythology at some point in their life and kind of remember it, but have mostly forgotten it, and then try to get them to recount stories from Greek mythology with only their vague recollection to guide them. As they attempt to piece together the story, they'll likely end up with something that sort of resembles the original myth, but with a bunch of weird differences, thereby creating new traditions in the vein of the Greek bards of old. And they suggest calling it Homer, I Hardly Know Her. So, I thought that was so funny. I shared it with him, and
I chortled.
Yeah.
And I said, this is a great idea.
So,
because, I mean, you could do this with other things. We kind of did something vaguely similar to this. Not mythology, and I can't remember what we...
It was classic novels.
Yes.
That you knew and I didn't. So I was like, picture of Dorian Gray, portrait of a guy, and he stays young forever, and maybe there's an old lady who owns the portrait, and you were like, you could not be further from the truth. And I was like, cool.
The beginning is, as before, the beginning was correct, and then it just took a dive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like right off the side.
In this case, neither one of us is gonna know, so we both get to play this time, and I guess we're calling the game is called Homer, I Hardly Know Her. So I've pulled up a list of some of the most popular Greek myths, and I'm going to just look at the name and throw it out there, and we can try to piece together what we remember it being about, and then we'll look and check our work and see how far off we were.
Right. And full disclosure, if the myth doesn't involve Wonder Woman, I'm not going to remember it super well.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm not super familiar with this one, but Hercules and Cerberus.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell. Okay, so I'm already mad at your list because
I'm sorry, Heracles, not Hercules.
Oh, does it say Heracles?
I misread it. My bad.
Oh, then I'm happy with the list. I'm back
on
board.
Wait,
baby.
You know what it is? It's that in one place it says Hercules, so I misread in the wrong place. But yes, in most places it says Heracles.
Well, here's
Heracles and Cerberus.
I'm gonna push up my nerd glasses.
Oh, okay.
And tell everyone that Hercules is the Roman version of the Greek hero Heracles. They're the same stories. You just change the name, like Zeus is Jupiter and things like they're the same. They're the same on principle. They're the same person. They just have a different name.
Mars and Ares.
Right, Mars and Ares, Neptune and Poseidon.
Right.
So Pluto and Hades, which I think is funny because Hades is a cool sounding name and Pluto is not a
How
great...
much of that do you think is we're conditioned to think that because we think of a cartoon dog?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, right?
100% that's the reason. But, that it's because of the dog.
Probably.
Yeah, or because it's a tiny planet, even though it's bigger than me.
That's true. Yeah, because you think of the planet too, yeah.
Yeah, you could think of the planet, not a planet, not a planet. So, I don't know. But anyway, so Heracles and Cerberus. Cerberus is the big three-headed dog.
That's about where my knowledge ends. So I'm going to say that Heracles had to fight Cerberus to get some kind of battle, some kind of trials in some kind of war or battle that fighting the three-headed dog was like the boss at the end of the video game.
That answer felt like you were answering a short answer question on a test, and then at the bottom you're like, P.S. Can you just please give me a D- because I tried? That's kind of what it was. I drew you a picture of a flower, so can I pass this test?
I don't have an actual apple to give you, but here's a drawing of one.
Here's a drawing. Please take this. I don't know the story, but I know that Heracles, is a demigod, and Hera didn't like that very much. That he is the son of Zeus, but not of Hera. Hera being extremely jealous, makes Hercules believe that he's fighting a bunch of monsters or whatever, and it turns out that he murdered his family and his wife. And so to prove that he's still a good person and a hero, he goes on these 12 trials, like he does the trials of Hercules. And I'm gonna guess that he wants to like reclaim the soul of his wife, because Cerberus guards the underworld, right? So maybe he wants to reclaim the soul of his wife, so he has to fight Cerberus to get it. I'm making all this up. I have no idea. Does that sound?
That's okay. Well, let's see. So
let's find out.
Okay, the last of Heracles' 12 labors. So there you go. The king ordered Heracles to fetch him Cerberus, the fearsome three-headed hound that guarded the gates of Tartarus, an infernal abyss within the Greek underworld.
Tartarus, the production plant that makes tartar sauce. Fun fact.
Reserved for the most terrible punishments. Alongside
like that joke.
Like that. Alongside its three heads, Cerberus' mane was covered with snakes. I didn't know that part. I just knew it was a three-headed dog. It also had a serpent's tail, great red eyes, and long saber-like teeth. Having reached the underworld, Hades allowed Heracles to take Cerberus so long as he didn't use any weapons to subdue his pet. So Heracles wrestled with Cerberus and was eventually able to place a great chain around Cerberus' neck. Heracles then dragged Cerberus to the king's palace. Frightening the king senseless, Heracles would later return Cerberus to Hades. It was the last of his 12 labors, and Heracles was free at last.
All right, we were pretty far off. We got the setup right.
We got like 40% of that, maybe?
Yeah, we drew a nice flower for the teacher.
We
is
did.
What we did.
We did. And we said, make it a D-, not an F, please.
Weird that the description of Cerberus is like, it has sharp teeth. Like, obviously, it's a three-headed dog. What do you think? I had a bunch of molars in there?
Right.
That Herbie came along and took all its teeth and was like, I'm a dentist. What? Like,
Bumbles bounce.
Yeah.
Cerberus
is bounce. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, Perseus and Medusa.
Oh, I think I actually know this one.
Do you? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why he has to be there, but Perseus, the great Greek hero Perseus. Right?
I just know that Perseus is a son of Zeus.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
That's.
Huh.
I don't know why that stuck with me, but I knew that.
Just Zeus, just turning into swans and making children. Just what Zeus
making
does.
the rounds, Zeus.
Yep. And so I don't remember why he has to fight Medusa. Let's say Zeus told him to.
Sure, probably.
Why not?
Probably. Oh, and Medusa is the roller coaster at Six Flags.
Yes,
that's what I know.
That is true. That is true. Never went on it. Hate roller coasters.
I rode it with our friend Andrew. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
When we were
Hello,
like 16.
Andrew. Yeah. That's fun. For you, I hate roller coasters.
Yes.
So he has to go fight her. And he has to but he can't look at her, because if you look at Medusa, you turn to stone.
Oh, Medusa's the one with the turn to stone.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he has to fight her blind. But he tricks her into looking at her own reflection, I think on a shield or something like that.
Oh,
so then she turns herself to stone.
This is all sounding familiar.
Yeah, I don't know why he has to do it, because he's a hero. But that's all I got.
Vague hero reasons. Okay, let's see. So Perseus was the son of Princess it says Danae? Is that not Diana? I don't know. Princess Danae and Zeus. To save his mother from marrying the king of Seriphos, he was ordered to kill the Gorgon Medusa. So he sent Adina and Hermes to meet Perseus en route. And Athena provided him with a magic shield polished like a mirror. Hermes provided Perseus a magical sword. Perseus, when he had several encounters on the way there, 3 gray women, the nymphs of the north, magical leather bag, ditto. And with the special equipment, he headed to Medusa's island. Medusa was one of the 3 Gorgons. She had the face of a beautiful woman. Anyone who looked directly at her would be turned to stone, so Perseus used his magic shield to find the sleeping Medusa, cutting off her head, and then made his escape.
Right. That's right, because there's a very famous statue of that, with him holding Medusa's snake hair or whatever, because she's a Gorgon I was wondering about that because I was like, if she turns to stone, how does she cut off her head?
Right. Yeah. Is it
Right,
like
but,
snap off?
Yeah. Right. Oh, so that's sad. So he like got her when she was sleeping.
There's no honor in that.
That's lame.
That's backstabbing. Come on. Okay. All right. That one what percentage would you say we got that? That was like
60%.
60? All right, 60.
Yeah.
All right, next one is Theseus and the Minotaur. This one I actually remember. Do you remember there was a short-lived show on PBS called Adventures from the Book of Virtues?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Short-lived. I think it was on like Sunday mornings or something, and it was these little animated vignettes.
I was at church, Frank. I'm sorry.
Well, yes. Yeah. Well, this was before church.
Oh,
Early
okay. When you were eating Cheerios.
Correct.
Yes.
And it was on PBS, and they took like the Book of Virtues, like the Bill Bennett book, and they took just different stories from morality tales, some from the Bible, some from mythology, from all different sources, and they would do them. So they did this one as a cartoon. So I know it much the same way that I know a lot of books from Wishbone. I know this one from Adventures from the Book of Virtues.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I know the cartoon version that they made up for kids. I don't know if there's people's heads are getting cut off or something. Then maybe I don't.
Yeah, I use this. I have to use this in class for something. I can't even remember why I use it, but I had to like just a couple months ago. So I'm curious how my memory of it stacks to your memory of it.
Interesting. Okay. What I remember from it is, I guess it was Theseus. For some reason, was sent to the island where there was this big maze.
Mm-hmm.
The labyrinth. And
I can tell you why he was sent there.
Why was he sent there?
So we can do this. We'll do this together. This is a team. This is a team test. So he has to go because the Minotaur is torments the area. It's like a curse on the. It's a curse on the. The area has to offer a sacrifice to the Minotaur, and so he goes to basically stop that from happening, to stop that sacrificial offering from happening, because it's going to be the princess or something like that he was going to marry or something like that. So he was like, oh, I better go cut this out so I can also marry the princess. I'm pretty sure that.
Okay.
I think that's something like that.
Okay, most of that sounds familiar. Some parts of that sound familiar. And then, so I think you're right. And then the other piece I remember is some kind of like a magic. So Theseus goes into the labyrinth to find and I guess fight and kill the Minotaur, and to make sure he won't get lost, the princess or somebody gives him like a magic string that he can unspool and follow.
That's right. The princess does that. Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like it was like a gold string or something, a gold thread, so that it wouldn't break or whatever. I don't know, something like that. And so, yeah, basically he does it. He kills the Minotaur and then he finds his way back, using the string.
And then he marries the princess. Yeah, I think that's pretty correct.
Okay. All right, let's see. Theseus and the Minotaur. Theseus was the son of the king Aegis of Athens, king of Athens. He was the son of the king of Athens. He was sent to Crete to kill the Minotaur of King Minos. Half man and half bull. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that part where the Minotaur was like a half man, half.
Sure, I think we knew what a Minotaur was.
That's a pretty well-known thing. But yes, half man, half bull. Minotaur lived in a specially constructed maze in the dungeons of Minos' palace. It was infamous for eating children.
Ooh.
Demanded by Minos from subject cities such as Athens. Oh, so that must have been the sacrifice. They feeded a child?
The child. Okay.
That was not in the cartoon version. I'll tell you.
No,
that.
I don't even know that in the version that I do. But as we also know that because it was oral storytelling, they were like, I'm not going to tell this village about the children one. I want to change it to something else.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
There's no one.
We'll just say it was a
version.
sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So just before he left, Theseus and his father agreed that upon its return, the Athenian ship would raise a black sail if the mission had failed, and Theseus had died. And if he succeeded, those sailors would raise a white sail.
Just like the Vatican.
Just like that. When he arrived on Crete, Theseus was aided in his house by Ariadne, Minos' daughter. She
Yes.
provided Theseus magic string so he would not get lost in the maze. She also gave him a sharp dagger with which to kill the Minotaur. He entered the maze, killed the Minotaur, retraced his steps with the string, quickly made his escape, leaving the labyrinth behind. They fled to the ships and sailed away.
Which is also why I can't remember the person's name in Inception that's named Ariadne, the actor. Oh my gosh,
I don't remember. I don't remember the characters. I don't remember. Like it's been so long since I saw Inception. But was it Marion Cotillard or
Page?
Inception?
Ellen Page.
Oh, okay.
Ellen / Elliot Page. That's it. Yeah. They play Ariadne. And like they are the string that helps DiCaprio come out of the labyrinth that is of the dreams, right? Like that's the symbolism there. That's freaking right. Yes,
there you go. But wait a second. No, I didn't know this part. The story did not have a happy ending.
Of course not. It's Greek myth. Yeah.
On the way home, Ariadne was taken away from Theseus by the god Dionysius. Dismayed, Theseus sailed back to Athens, but he forgot to change the sails of his ships from black to white. And when his father, the king of Athens, saw the black sails, he, believing his son was dead, threw himself into the sea.
Himself off the cliff. Yeah, that's right.
And that's why it's called the Aegean Sea, because his father's name was Aegeus. So it's the Aegean Sea.
Isn't that messed up?
Very.
That you're like, that sea, it's named after a dead guy.
Want to know how he got that name?
Because he fell in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That one, I would say we got like an 80 on that one. That was pretty.
I'd say that's about an 80%.
It's about an 80, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We're getting better, Frank.
Getting better.
This is. I assumed that the hard ones would become later.
I know. Okay, well, this next one I think we're going to nail too. Icarus, the boy who flew too close to the sun. I mean, it's in the title.
Yeah. So Daedalus makes these wings of wax that you can fly.
He's in prison, right? He's in prison, and so he wants to escape.
Yeah, and his father's like, don't do that. You got to take your time. Don't fly. Like he just flies over the water, like he flies down. And Icarus is like, no, you can go higher than that.
Yes.
So he flies close to the sun. The wings melt because they're made of wax.
Yes.
Never mind that they're flying.
Right.
That's not important. And Icarus falls into the ocean and dies.
Yes. This one was also in the Adventures of the Book of Virtues. It was, and I remember that they showed him like painstakingly melting candle wax and like getting feathers from, I guess, birds that were flying by or whatever.
Sure.
Over like weeks or months or whatever to construct these two sets of wings, and then Icarus
mucks it up.
Did what he wanted to do. So okay, let's see. So, with the death of the Minotaur, King Minos of these are connected. King Minos of Crete sought someone to blame. So the fall guy was his chief inventor Daedalus, the man who had designed the maze. Okay, and so he had him locked up in the highest tower in the palace with no food or water, with his son. So
isn't that sad? They're like, all right, you designed this maze, so it's your fault. I'll lock you up. Also, here's your child to also go because why not?
Yeah, right. Like
what is that?
That's so messed up. So using the tail feathers of the pigeons sleeping in the rafters above, combined with beeswax from a deserted bee's nest. Okay, that's different than I saw. Daedalus was able to craft 4 large wings, leather straps from their sandals. They jumped out of the tower with the wings on their shoulders and started flying west towards Sicily. And Daedalus warned him not to fly too close to the sun. Icarus didn't listen. Flying too close to the sun god Helios, his waxen wings fell apart and the boy crashed into the sea below.
I'd say there's a solid 90, 95%.
I was going to say 90,
Yeah.
I would even take 95. I think that's acceptable. I think that's
I don't.
justifiable.
Like we missed like flying to Sicily, but that's not the important part.
It's not. We got the important parts of it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, this one is I don't know how to pronounce it. Bellerophon and Pegasus.
I think Bellerophon is correct. Pegasus is definitely correct.
I know. Yeah, Pegasus I know is correct.
Pegasus is the winged horse.
That's all I know about Pegasus. That's where it begins and ends. Is that there was a winged horse named Pegasus.
I'm going to say
don't know Bellerophon.
Bellerophon is the son of Zeus because they all are. Why
they
not?
Usually are.
Yep, and he is looking to conquer the skies, and to do that, he has to hunt down the elusive flying horse known as Pegasus, and he tames the wild animal to prove man's control over nature.
Sure.
The
Okay.
end.
Works for me.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Born from the blood that had spilled from Medusa's body onto the sand after Perseus had cut off the Gorgon's head, it was said that this winged horse Pegasus could only be ridden by a hero. So Pegasus was born from the blood spilled from Medusa's body.
Look, I'm willing to accept a winged horse that flies, but how does it get formed from from the Gorgon's blood? I'm not following.
Not really, but okay. Bellerophon doesn't even say who Bellerophon is. Bellerophon was asked by the king of Lydia to kill the pet monster of the neighboring king of Caria. This was the Chimera. So he wanted him to kill the Chimera, a beast that had a lion's body, a goat's head, and a snake's tail, and it also breathed fire.
Mm-hmm.
Just for kicks.
Just for kicks.
So that's the
Because
Chimera.
it's not dangerous enough in the middle. That's fine.
Right.
A goat's body.
Lion's body, goat's head, snake's tail.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Body,
Okay.
goat's head. That's a
different
lion's
Chimera.
body with a goat's head is not particularly menacing. Like the lion's body, sure, but then the goat's head, it's just like it comes
Imagine
up to you and it's like
the speed or speed of a lion, but if you get nipped by that lion, that goat, yeah,
it's like eating tin cans.
I feel like I've never. I got to look up a chimera.
Chimera,
because because as far as I know, I've never seen a chimera with a goat's head before.
And when it says a snake's tail, I'm guessing it means like a snake's head for a tail.
Yes, that's
right?
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of different versions, but the majority of what I'm seeing is that it's the lion's body with a lion head, and there's a goat's head above the lion head, and the snake's head as the tail is what I'm seeing.
That
it makes more less sense.
Well, it makes more sense in terms of being more menacing.
Yes, absolutely.
Because like if a chimera is just like a lion, that's a lion. Okay, Anyway, so chimera, lion's body, possibly a goat's head, snake for a tail, breathe fire. To kill the beast, Bellerophon first had to tame the winged Pegasus. So Athena helped him do that. Riding above the chimera, Bellerophon killed the beast by striking it in its mouth with a spear tipped with lead. The lead melted inside Chimera's throat and killed it. Okay.
Cool.
So that's
okay.
That. Okay. Next up, how are we doing on time? Okay. We can do one more.
I say one more. We didn't get that one at all.
We did not even get. That's like
no, not even close.
No, we didn't even know Chimera. We didn't know anything.
No, I did know that he needed to conquer Pegasus in some way. So that's like a 10.
That's true. That's a 10. It's not a total 0. It's a 10. Okay. Next up, we have, and this is the last one on this list, so it works out perfectly. Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, I don't know this one as well as I should.
I don't know this one other than I know there was a movie.
There's an owl clock, and no, that's not Jason. Jason and the Argonauts. Argonaut is a ship that takes Jason on adventures, and he has to fight undead skeletons for some reason.
Argonaut is a ship, or the? I feel like Argonaut sounds like it's a group. Like Jason and the Argonauts sounds like it's a group of people.
But they
were
on a ship and they go on an adventure. Maybe that's it. I just know that the movie. So like the fake movie Argo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that is named for like they're all on a ship called the Argo, the like actual fake movie, which is for the Argonauts.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Go
and
on
when you say,
adventure.
just for people to understand, when you say the fake movie called Argo, you're talking about the movie within the movie called Argo.
That's
the
right.
Movie they
so
were pretending
the
to make.
CIA operation, which resulted in them using the Argo to rescue the Iranian, during the Iranian hostage crisis.
Yes, Argo yourself.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
So they're on the Argo. And the Argonauts are Let's say that they're the ones who are like rowing down in the galley or whatever.
Yeah, let's say they're also
deck.
pirates. That
Sure.
they're like sea wanderers or something.
Sure, why not? And Jason is probably a son of Zeus.
I want to say
Probably.
Sure, son of Zeus.
And they're on the Argo, and they're...
Yeah, they have to fight skeletons that Ray Harryhausen cooked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it was a pretty great sequence to prove that stop motion and live action can work in tandem together.
They can work together.
Yeah.
And it won 1 million Academy Awards, and
Sure didn't.
Is that actually a Ray Harryhausen movie? Is that a fact?
Yeah,
Oh.
Jason and the Argonauts is that like skeleton sequence is actually Ray Harryhausen.
Did not realize that. Okay. Jason was the son of Aeson, the rightful king of Iolcos in Thessaly.
And by Aeson, you mean
Zeus.
an anagram for Zeus.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know.
Okay. Jason went to his... Oh, God. Okay. He went to get his father reinstated as king. I'm summarizing here. But to do that, they demanded that Jason must first bring him back the magical golden fleece from the land of Colchis.
Golden fleece. Yeah, right. Okay.
So Jason agreed. He collected a group of comrades to aid him in his adventure. The ship was called the Argo, and they called themselves
the Argonauts. Bam.
After several adventures across the Black Sea, fighting this is literally, I'm reading, poo-throwing harpies. They fought harpies that threw poo.
So they fought monkeys,
basically.
Yeah.
So Planet of the Apes happens, and then they row through crashing rocks. They don't want to give up the fleece, so Jason has
the Golden North Face, as I like to call it.
The Golden North Face, and he's set on the impossible task of plowing up and sowing a field with dragon's teeth. And he plowed it with 2 fiery bowls that burned anyone who came near. Against all odds, Jason successfully plowed the field thanks to divine intervention. He was aided by Medea, who is not a Tyler Perry character, but she's the witch daughter of the king of Colchis, who fell in love with him after Eros shot her with his love darts, as he does.
Of course.
Medea then took Jason to the grove where the golden fleece was kept. It was guarded by a fierce dragon, but Medea sang it to sleep, as she does. With the golden fleece, Jason, Medea, and the Argonauts fled Colchis and returned home, claiming his father's throne from his wicked uncle Peleus.
Wow, no skeletons at all. I'm so disappointed. None.
You got, I think, a 10 on that.
We knew that there was somebody named Jason.
And that there was something called the Argonauts.
And the Argonauts.
Which, to be fair...
that they were on a ship most likely called the Argo.
Which, to be fair, they told us in the title.
They
Jason
sure did, didn't they?
So really the only thing we get credit for is the ship.
Yeah, we got a 5 on that. We hit it really low.
We did not.
We got too big for our britches right in the middle.
You know what we did, Tim? We flew too close to the sun.
We didn't heed the lesson of the one myth we actually knew really well. So much for that Virtue show that you used to watch.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Damn.
That was fun.
Damn the man.
That was a lot of fun.
Well, that was fun. That was great. I'm so glad that we did that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, well, you can find us on the internet at beerwithgeeks.com. You can find our whole back catalog of shows. You can find show notes for this episode there. You can find links to our other shows at thoughtbubbleaudio.com, which you'll find there on Beer with Geeks. You'll find how to subscribe to us in places like iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, everywhere that podcasts are found. You can leave us ratings and reviews in all of those places, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate that. You can subscribe for free and get every episode straight to your phone or your device of choice in any of those apps. You can also email us at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at beerwithgeeks, and you can help support us and keep the show going and keep our other shows going by supporting the network on Patreon, patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio, and that helps us pay the bills and keep all of these shows going. Okay. Well, that's I think that's going to put a wrap on us for this week.
That's great. I'm so glad that we did that. We should try that with other other myths from other lands.
Yeah, we do Romans next.
Yes. Oh, that's even worse. It's going to be so bad. Oh God. Well, it's a wishing stone, right? There's a wishing stone.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Everyone wishes, and they obviously will renounce them. Okay, I nailed it. Roman myths, got them. Okay, so Frank, you know what a Roman myth is? Democracy.
Oh snap!
Got him. Okay, Frank. Well, as always, it was a pleasure to cheer you on and chat with you. And so, until next time, cheers.
Cheers.